want to start with where I've just come from. So I've just been at a democracy conference for young people. There are about 1,000 young people at the Ministry of Sound that I just gave a keynote speech to. And the theme was about their future. So of course we talked about the National Health Service, we talked about the need to raise wages, we talked about the need for a democracy that actually represents people. And we talked about what we're gathering for here today. We can get all of those things right, and of course we should get all of those things right. But we live in one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world, and we live at a time where there is a climate emergency, and the word emergency here is the clue. The very least this government need to do is to stop making things worse. And at a time where we are seeing increasing wildfires, increasing floods around the world, with our neighbours in Europe, and of course right here at home, the climate crisis is not some distant threat. It is right here and it is right now. And how dare this government and any on the right, Farage with his anti-science, climate-denying rhetoric, dare to say this is about jobs, when we know there are hundreds of thousands of jobs waiting to happen in the green investment sector. If we insulate every single home in Britain that needs it, that would reduce our bills, vital in a cost of living crisis. It would mean our homes are cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and it would create the exact jobs they're talking about. That could be in the public sector, in trade unions, where people are paid properly and treated with dignity and care at work. But instead, they want to create a sector where the profits will go to Equinor in Norway. These barrels, this oil, will be sold on the international market, even if you go in the economic growth frame. Instead of saying this is about making money for this country, this oil will be sold on the international market. As well as that, we know there is no environmental justice without social, racial, and economic justice too. And to know that Equinor are associated with human rights abuses, with the ongoing genocide in Gaza, where our government are not just complicit, that's right, active participants, selling arms, sharing intelligence, and now the dirty money of oil and gas and the associations with genocides around the world. We say, not in our name. And so the path is clear. We do not need to monger in despair and fear as Farage does. We can connect with people's anger and fear, and we understand it. Fear around the climate crisis, fear around the cost of living crisis. But we have the solutions. The solutions are to invest in our green industries. The solutions are to recognize we can protect people and planet, and indeed we must. And the solutions are indeed in our communities, to reject these huge infrastructure projects, to make multimillionaires and billionaires and corporates more money, and to instead invest in our communities, invest in community energy, make sure that power and energy as of a local possible source, that money is coming back to the communities, that it is being invested to make sure we have cleaner air, more beautiful public spaces that are protected, and indeed we tackle the climate crisis. Because finally, after the World War, we saw the Attlee government set up the NHS. We saw the opportunity for hope where a government dared to imagine a different world that would protect the poorest, a different world that would lift us up and amplify what this country and this world needs right now. Friends, we are in a time of crisis, but we don't need to move to the politics of fear, despair, or hate. We are stood here today with the politics of community, the politics of solidarity, and daring to imagine a better world. And friends, that is how we will change our towns, it's how we'll change our cities, it's how we'll change this country, and together it is how we change the world. Stop Rosebank. Thank you.